and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'd like to share with you my recent art haul. Now, I did post an art haul on this channel about a month ago, but that was my birthday art haul, and I made the video way back in the beginning of May because my birthday is at the end of April, and then I never posted it. For whatever reason, I forgot about it, and then I found it and I posted it. But this is my very first art purchase since May, because usually I like to buy quite a few art supplies in the end of spring or maybe around the beginning of spring. That way I can have all the things that I'll need to paint for the entirety of the summer, because I do not like to buy paint or any art supplies for that matter during the heat of the summer. Well, why? Because number one, if you're buying anything like acrylic paints, they could possibly arrive kind of like cured in the tube or damaged. And if you're buying watercolor paper, which I knew I wanted this, then it can make the sizing go off, because if it's very hot and humid where you are and it's traveling through the different hot, humid temperatures, it could affect your sizing. So it's a better idea to not order any art supplies during the summer. That's just my opinion. So here we are, and before we get started, I did want to say don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Give me a thumbs up and leave me some comments, because it does help out my channel. And right after this video, I want to post this super quickly because I want to do a review on this Arches rough press watercolor paper. In fact, I was so excited that I already cut a piece in half because I'm going to test this out, and I think I'm going to do a couple little autumn leaves on it. So be sure to subscribe so that you won't miss that video. I think that I might post those videos together, or maybe I'll post one on Thursday and one on Friday. I usually post once a week, but I think I'm going to post 2 videos this week just because I don't want to have to wait to post it to the next week. So anyway, right off the bat, the first thing that I got was this Arches rough press watercolor paper. Now this is 100% cotton and it's archival quality, and I'm used to Arches. They are my favorite brand of watercolor paper. I love the cold press. I have the hot press as well, so I'll be able to compare all 3 varieties in my video, and I'm really excited about the rough press. Now, I usually work in watercolor relatively realistic and detailed, but sometimes for landscapes and for other things, when you want kind of a looser, more textured look, I think this could be very nice. And I've always been a firm believer that getting details and realism really is about the skill of the hand more than the texture of the paper. In fact, I tend to prefer a slightly more textured canvas. Even though I work in realism usually in acrylics, I prefer a more medium textured canvas to something super smooth, or one of those masonite boards, which I absolutely do not like. So that's what I got. I got this, and this was around $20 for the 10 by 14 size. I also picked up some Winsor Newton gum Arabic solution. This is a must-have if you're a watercolor artist. This works for a variety of things, but the thing I like it for the most is resizing and reshaping brushes. I have this is a Princeton Elite number 8 round that I absolutely love, and I use it all the time, but I really think it needs a little bit of resizing. So you just wash the brush, you know, give it a good cleanse. I use the Masters brush cleaner, and then, you know, get all the extra water out, make sure it's rinsed really well, and then just dip it in the gum Arabic solution and shape it to a nice point and leave it as long as you can. And usually, I'm telling you, it works like magic. It just completely reshapes and fixes your brushes. So there's a little tip for you there, and I love gum Arabic solution. It also helps to slow the drying time of your watercolors if you live in a very hot, humid, a hot or dry climate. I have a steam heat system. In fact, you might hear little clanks and things in the background. That's because I have cast iron radiators, and during this time of year when I'm filming, there's really nothing I could do about it. When the heat comes up, the cast iron expands and you hear the clanking in the background. That's just my radiator. I also picked up more of these Princeton Elite brushes. They're called Aqua Elite now. Let me see, were they always called that? I thought it was just regular Elite. No, so they renamed them to Aqua Elite. But they're still the synthetic Kolinsky sables. I have quite a few of these in my collection. I have plenty of the tiny ones for details. These are stiff enough to do your first layers and to get nice detail, but they're soft enough to do a little bit of glazing if you like, but genuinely for glaze layers, I prefer the Princeton Neptunes. They're more of a synthetic squirrel. They're very soft, so they don't have as much spring to them. They're not good for detail work, but I like to use these in my final layers of the painting when I'm ready to glaze because they're so soft that they won't disturb the layers underneath. So for my initial layers, I like these. And so I picked up a number 10 round, a number 6 round, and I got the long round in the number 8 just to compare to the full-bodied number 8 round. And you can see there's quite a bit more of a point on there, or hopefully you can see that. I'll do a close-up of all those brushes and splice that into the footage. I also picked up some palette knives. So like I said, I picked up a set of the Liquitex Freestyle palette knives, and they come on this ring. I have to say, the only thing I don't like about them right off the bat is that the tag on the ring tells you what sizes you get. I got the small set, but the individual knives do not have numbers on them, which usually they do. So here's the thing. Most of us are going to throw this out, right? This little tag, and just hang the ring on something in our studio. And then when it comes to time to repurchase, maybe it's gone rusty or it's bent or whatever, you're not going to know which one to repurchase because they did not label them. So I'm going to have to take like a permanent marker or something and just make sure I number them before I get rid of this, because I don't know, I really think they should have numbered that. So like I said, I picked them up and they have quite a few shapes, a good variety here. So I appreciate that, and I'll let you know how I like them, but so far they seem nice and heavy and good quality. If you saw my last birthday haul, then you also saw that I was hauling the Mount Vision Pastels, which I absolutely love. I'm crazy obsessed with them. But I picked up Flesh Ochre, or Pink Flesh Ochre, $4.90, $4.91, and $4.92. And if you saw that video, you remember I said I was going to repurchase $4.91 because that middle shade, it's almost like a gray violet kind of mucky color, and it didn't seem to go with that trio of colors at all. In fact, I remember saying that it looks more like a cadaver flesh tone than Pink Flesh Ochre, but reordered it, and sure enough, it was not mislabeled. That's the right color. Can you believe that? I can't believe that, but that is the right color. So now I've got 2 of them. Picked that up. I only picked up 1 tube of paint here. I got the Pyrrole Red Light from Golden. Pyrrole Red Light, this is PR 255. If you're familiar with Daniel Smith's Pyrrole Scarlet, this is the same pigment. And I do have this color in the matching fluid paints. Hold on one second. Okay, the matching fluid acrylics. If you saw one of my last haul videos that I did where I talked about acrylic paint, I like to have the heavy body paint and a matching fluid paint because just one little drop of this goes so long and so far, and it's just the perfect consistency to get little fine details, hairs, feathers, things like that. So these are a great companion piece to these paints. Not that you need a separate set for details. You can use mediums and things like that, but the mediums like GAC will shear down the pigmentation as well. So, but these is a Series 8 pigment, by the way. Pyrrole is not the cheapest paint, but it really is worth it, and it's totally light fast. So I love this pigment, and I'm very happy to have this. And this one is the new cap as well that Golden has. I also picked up a tube bringer, the metal one. This is super heavy, by the way. I wasn't expecting it to be quite this heavy. And this says it gets you up to 35% more from every paint tube. I hope that's true. I'm really, I try and be very conservative with my paint. I try and use every last bit of it. It seems very well made, so I'm happy about that. And I do have plenty of what I believe to be pretty much empty paint tubes that I'm going to try and get more out of with this. So I'm going to try and save every little bit of paint that I can with this. So I'm very happy to have that. And then I also picked up these. These are from Faber-Castell. These are the white pencil erasers. It's in a bag. You probably can't even see it. Hold on one second. Let me just go ahead and open that on up. They also come in a pink variety, and I use the pink ones too, and they're fine, but sometimes the pink can leave a little smudge on watercolor paper, drawing paper, even sometimes the pastel matte, because the grit will kind of grab it. So I really prefer the white, but the white's more expensive. I don't know why that is, but they are. But these are incredibly useful, and I always have to have these in my studio. I use them pretty much daily. They are really great. And then on with the acrylic paint. There's going to be a glare on this. Maybe I should open it off camera. Oh well. Yeah, there's going to be a horrible glare. Let me open this off camera just to get that shrink wrap off. Okay, so I picked up the Stay Wet Premier palette. This is not a new product to me by any means whatsoever. Let me show you. This is in the 12 by 16, so this is the largest size that they have. But I've been using this one, which is their perfect, it's like the perfect square size. It's 9 by 12 inside is what the insert is. And that's my hair. That's disgusting. Sorry about that. But I love this. I love this palette so, so much. But sometimes for bigger projects, it can be a little bit small. So I went ahead and I upgraded to the larger size, which this is, oh, it's 12 by 16. Yeah, I did say that. So, but this one is 9 by 12 inside. And then it's got this little compartment that you can put your brushes or your palette knife in. I get a ton of use out of this, as you can see. The Stay Wet palette has changed my life. And I'm not exaggerating. It changed my acrylic paint life because unless you're using retarders or something to extend the drying time of acrylic paint, they dry incredibly fast. And so by having that wet sponge insert underneath the palette, you can, it constantly feeds the paint and keeps it wet. But a little piece of advice, wring the sponge out halfway. Don't leave it sopping wet, because if it's too wet, then you will really destroy the body of the paint. It'll become very thin, kind of watery, and you don't want to underbind the paint either. And the other piece of advice that I have for you is this. Make sure that you are definitely opening it every day, at least every other day, because if you leave it closed for a week, it will keep the paints fresh for up to a week. But sometimes it can grow mold in there. I have had that happen to me if I left it too long, and that was my fault. So just make sure that you are checking it pretty regularly. But I also got the paper to refill this again, but nice tight lid. Let's open this up. Oh boy. Oh. So here's the inside of the lid. It's got these little feet on it so that you can, at least this is what I always do. I put the palette down, the lid down like this, and then I sit it up so that you know, it kind of has a little stand now. It comes with a few sheets of paper, the palette paper as well as the sponge insert. And you just put this paper in boiling water, or as hot as you can get it. Boiling water works best, for about 15 minutes until the paper goes translucent. And then you saturate the sponge and then wring it out halfway. Definitely wring it out halfway. Otherwise, you're going to get wet, kind of runny, unpleasant paint to work with. So this lid feels really nice. It is different though, just to compare to my old palette here, which I'll still use, and I think it's the perfect little footprint, the square one, the smaller one. But the lid on this one is different. This one's more rubbery. So this one's more plastic, like a harder plastic. This one's a little bit more rubbery. And I'll do a close-up of this so that you guys can see. But the new one, the larger size, is deeper. it's much deeper. So I don't know if I like that so much, but those are the differences there. And then the last thing that I picked up, well, the second to last thing that I picked up, I grabbed another one of these ruby satin silver brushes because I love these brushes for acrylic. They're my favorite. As you can see, it arrived completely broken and snapped in half. There was a lot of weight in this box. Everything that I just showed you was in there, and I ordered some of the Frederick's Blue Label canvases, which I'd like to talk more about in another video. I might do a review on these canvases, but when I ordered them from the company, I ordered 6 or 8 of these. Did I order 6 or 8? I ordered 6 of the 11 by 14 size, and I ordered 3 of the 16 by 20 larger size. And what they did was they put, this is my own canvas, this isn't one that I ordered. They put all those canvases at the bottom of the box and then put all the heavy stuff on top of them. So I'm going to let you go ahead and use your imagination and just guess how those canvases arrived to me. This is how it's supposed to look. And what I got was canvases that were not only sagged in the middle, but they were warped, like the wood was warped so it wouldn't sit flat on the wall anymore. They were crushed. They were absolutely destroyed. There was so much weight on the canvases, in fact, that this brush was underneath the canvases and it was snapped in half just from the weight and the force of everything. It was like a 16-pound box or something. So I'm very disappointed that it came that way. I called up the company that I ordered these supplies from, and they are going to send me out a replacement for those canvases, 9 canvases that I ordered from Frederick. So, you know, we'll see how they arrive. But I've never had that experience with this company before. I don't want to say the name of the art company that I ordered them from, but I was very disappointed and I was very upset. But they are going to send out replacements for the brush and for the canvas. So, but just a little warning for the future. If you order from any art supply retailer online and you're ordering canvas, order the canvas separate. Place 2 orders if you need canvas and you need paint and brushes and palette knives. Order the canvas, place that order, and then order everything else separate, because you want your canvases to come in a separate box. Because especially if you're ordering a back stapled canvas like the Frederick's, they can't be readjusted and retightened if they end up being sagged in the middle because they put all that weight on top. So learn from my mistake. In the future, I will be ordering canvas separate, not with other materials in addition to, but I thought they'd have the common sense to send out 2 separate packages. But anyway, these are the Frederick's Blue Labels, and this one's mine. This isn't one that I got today or with that order, but I just wanted to show you what I got. And they'll be coming, the replacement shipping will be coming sometime next week. These are very good canvases for portraiture. Not that you can't do portrait on a more rough canvas, but these really are nice canvases. They're archival quality, and they're a nice, even, smooth surface to work on. I really do like these a lot. They're some of my favorite canvases, and I do highly recommend them. I just wish that you could adjust them in case they got loose, but this one's tight as a drum. So that is lovely. So that is my art supply haul for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, you got value from the video, you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave me some comments, and subscribe, because my next video, I will be doing a review on that paper, and I'll be painting these leaves that I got out in my yard. The leaves are finally starting to turn here in New Jersey. So I'm getting ready to film that now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.